Hello, and today I share my favorite cardio HIIT routine, one that I go back to time and time again, especially if it's been a while since I've exercised, since you can choose how intense you want this workout to be. So I'll be following an AB format with 45 seconds of movement followed by 15-second active rest. You're not going to need any equipment for this workout other than a moderately soft surface, and we'll be featuring the following artists. Let's get groovy. Let's start with our warm-up and a march in place. We're going to be doing each move for 30 seconds, with 10 seconds stepping side to side. If you prefer a workout to rock music with a beautiful view, check out this video. Or something more moderate with a mix of music, then check this one out. All of them are cardio routines and will get you sweating. Keep those feet moving, keeping a relatively slow range of movement, and increase the range over time. Three, two, one, step side to side. Up next, we have a boxer shuffle. Shuffle side to side, staying on the balls of your feet. Keep it low impact by keeping those feet close to the ground, and move your arms as well to get the blood flowing. Switching to the side-to-side step. Our next move will be air squats. Have your feet about shoulder width apart, toes facing forward, push your hips back, and then bend with your knees. Keep your chest up and back straight. Hold out your arms in front of you to assist with balance if needed. Don't bounce at the bottom of the movement or use momentum, and go as slow as you need for this movement to be controlled. The side-to-side step. Moving on to a hip rotation. Put your hands on your hips and bend at the hip. Keep a straight back and engage your core while drawing a circle with your head. Once you are in a standing position, go back in the other direction. In the last 10 seconds, you can stretch out your obliques. Now pick a spot on the wall for a calf pedal. Stand a couple feet away from the wall, arms straight out in front of you. Place your hands flat on the wall. Engage your core to protect your back. Alternately, lift each heel up with the opposite pressing against the floor, feeling a nice stretch in the calf. This will warm up your feet and ankles as well. Warm-up complete. Let's get into it. We'll be doing each move 45 seconds on, followed by a 10-second break, following an AB format. Our first move will be a step jack. Let's begin our first move stepping side to side with a step jack. Raise your arms up over your head, drawing a nice big circle with our hands. If you're up for it, switch to jumping jacks. Pick an intensity that's not your maximum, rather just a little bit above your comfort level, a pace that you can maintain. Keep moving, but take the time to catch your breath. Now it's time for a squat plus arm rotation. Go down into a squat just as before, first pushing your hip back and then bending at the knees. And as you come up, add an arm rotation to wake up that shoulder. Following the AB-AB format, we repeat the last 2 movements before taking a longer break. First, let's do the step jack. Moving on to the squat and arm rotation. Three, 2, 1, and break. Now for our second group. We begin with a high knee jack. Standing tall, engaging the core, start with your hands above your head. Bring your knee up to hip height while drawing a circle with your hands, tapping under the thigh of the raised knee. Bring your hands up as your knee comes down, and repeat with the other leg. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Now for a side lunge. Step left to right, starting with your hands up over your head. Make a nice wide lunging motion and reach down to your foot with the opposite hand. Feel the rotation in the shoulder and try to get as much range of motion as you can out of this move. Great. One more time through for this group. Okay, let's begin. Keep breathing throughout. Never hold your breath. Your muscles need that oxygen.
Put your hands up. It's a new day. One to make everything happen and throw the rest away. You ready?
3, 2, 1, and break.
Need to put it into motion. Gonna cut to the chase. It could be bigger than the ocean. And if we were
Now for a side lunge.
and we are who we say we are, then it shouldn't be hard. No, it shouldn't be hard. Sing to the rhythm of love, dance to the boy on the floor. Write the words to somehow, keep right down the door. 'Cause if we all go to the way, oh, there will be stars. There will be stars. Fix mistakes, gotta tighten things up. Stick to the plan while we're lost in
3, 2, 1, and we are done with group 2. For the next group, we start with a knee drive jack. Move your right leg back into a lunge. Your shoulder, hip, and knee should make a straight line from the ground. Shin of the lead leg should be as vertical as possible, and your knees should not go over your toes. This requires a lot of balance, so move slowly, keeping control all the way through the movement, keeping those lungs open. All right, one more. 3, 2, 1, and break. Now, slow squats. Similar to air squats, but taking 2 seconds down and 2 seconds back up. Keep your muscles engaged the whole time. So as soon as you reach the top, get right back into the next squat. The slower the squat, the harder it is. So there's room for some extra challenge if you want it. We have the knee drive jack again, but this time the left leg moves back. Move slowly through the movement, keep breathing, and engage all your muscles with this one. Three, two, one, and break. We have the second round of slow squats. Keep your back straight and your chest up. Make sure your core is engaged. That's what gives you the stability. And go as slow as you're comfortable with. 3, 2, 1, and we're done with group 3. All right, it's the last group before our water break. This one is a lot like the knee drive jack, but we're stepping forward into a lunge and then back into a standing position. Alternate the legs this time, keeping your arms and back straight and those lungs open. Three, 2, 1, and break. So the only way to get out of this one is to dance. Slowly come down to the ground, plant your hands firmly on the ground, then step out your feet one at a time into a nice low plank. Don't let your hips dip to the floor or go too high. We want a nice plank with a line from your shoulders down to your heels. Engaging your core to keep stability, step back up and raise your hands over your head, and repeat. All right, one more. 3, 2, 1, and break. Let's do those 2 again, and we have 1.5 minutes left before our water break. Now, slow burpee. Almost there, you have 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Let's take a water break. This will be 45 seconds to catch your breath. Don't come to a dead stop, keep moving around during the break, giving your body a steady, slow pace to work with. All right, let's get back into it with a Grapevine Jack. Traveling to one side, do 2 step jacks. You can do jumping jacks instead if you like, and then walk back to the other side.
Here we go now. Here we go
3, 2, 1, and break. Up next, let's slow the pace down with a leg raise crunch. Bring your legs up alternately side to side. Focus on getting a nice high leg raise and feeling a crunch in the side of your torso. Don't swing the leg up. Your movement should be slow and in control throughout the whole movement. So raise your leg up nice and slow and lower it at the same speed. Three, 2, 1, and break. All right, we've got the Grapevine Jack again, just like you're at the Western Bar. Yeehaw!
Here we go now.
3, 2, 1, and break. Back into the leg raise crunch. Nice slow movement. Really feel it in the obliques. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Next, we're going to come down to the floor for a plank jack. With your elbows directly under your shoulders, engage your core and tuck your pelvis. Begin with your feet hip width apart. Step out with your left foot first and then your right foot, just outside of shoulder width. Then step your feet back in one at a time. Alternate between which foot goes out first. Don't let your hips rotate to either side. Use your core to keep balance. Three, 2, 1, and break. Staying on the floor, we have a plank and shoulder tap. We're doing this plank off our hands and knees to begin with. Go through the body checklist to make sure you have a nice straight plank. One at a time, bring your hand up and tap the opposite shoulder, all the while keeping your body in position. Your body will want to roll to one side as you lift your hand, so engage your core muscles to prevent this. To increase the intensity, lift your knees off the ground into a full plank. Three, 2, 1, and break. Now now plank jack. Okay, let's begin. Three, two, one, and break. Staying on the floor, we have a plank and shoulder tap. Okay, let's begin.
Never stop dreaming.
3, 2, 1, and we're done with the plank group. Let's stand back up for a star jack. Just like the step jack, but we're lifting one leg at a time out to the side. For a way more advanced version, look here, squat down and jump at the bottom of the movement. Make sure to squat as you land to absorb some of the impact and protect your knees.
Never stop dreaming.
3, 2, 1. Moving on to a toe touch.
Never stop dreaming.
Alternately, bring your leg up and in front of you. Keep your arms straight and bring them down to touch your toes. You should feel this in your abs. Keep this movement slow and in control. Three, 2, 1, and break. Switching back to the star jack. If you're up for it, let's try one advanced star jack. Oof. Okay, back to stepping out. Keep breathing, keeping those lungs open. Moving on to a toe touch. This is our last group, last chance to give it all you got. We have a step jack. So just like before, you'll burn more calories if you groove to the music. In a few moments, we'll move on to circle squats. And break. Okay, let's begin. Stand with your feet a bit wider than a normal squat. Drop off to the left side, moving your hips back first, then bending with your knees. Make a nice big circle with your hips and then come up on the other side. Try to get as much motion left to right as you can. Three, two, one, and we're done. Good job. All right, let's do those moves once more and then we're done. Starting with the step jack. And for our last move, we have the circle squats. Three, two, one, and we're done. Good job. So start bringing that heart rate down by stepping side to side. Let's begin the cool down with a quad stretch. Bring your foot up to your glute and grab your foot with the opposite hand. Push your hip forward and stand tall. Switch to the other side. Put one heel in front of you and reach down to grab your toes. Let your head relax down and breathe through the stretch. Alternately, you can do this one off of the wall. Put your toes against the wall and the heel to the floor. With your hands on the wall, move closer in to get a deeper stretch. Now the other side. When you're ready, slowly stand back up and find a space on the wall. Place one hand on the wall, turn away to feel a stretch in your chest and shoulder. Other side. Returning to the center of our mat. With a big breath in, reach your hands over your head, bending from your hip, and let your head and torso hang down. Next, when you're ready, slowly stand back up and then come into a sitting position on the floor. Bring the bottom of your feet together, sitting tall. Move your knees gently down to the floor to feel a nice stretch in your hips and thighs. Coming onto our back for a glute stretch, place one leg onto the opposite thigh, lace your finger behind your thigh, and gently pull towards your chest. You should feel a nice stretch in the opposite glute. Switch sides. For our last and final stretch, we have my favorite one, the TGTF. Thank goodness, the floor. So relax your hands and legs down, taking deep breaths in and out. All right, you did it. Join us tomorrow for a relaxing short stretch with a surprise guest. If you want a longer cool down, then check out this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.